Right, I'm going to whip through the NIBBLE card, program card for the workshop computer. It's really for the workshop system because it's all about translating these 4 buttons into musical outputs. They create some voltages that are quite unpredictable, and we're going to try and make them predictable. So, firstly, when you turn it on, if the left-hand side boots up in its normal mode, there's an alternate boot mode that I'll go through, but it goes straight into calibration mode because it calibrates every time you do it. And this is really easy. It's telling me, these 4 lights at the top there are telling me which of the 4 buttons to press. So top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Now it's combinations, so it's like the top 2. And every time I just tap the momentary switch down once I'm pressing them, and it's recording those voltages so that it knows when afterwards, now it's left that, which I'm pressing, including the combinations, because it's stored what they were. Whoops, there we go. Then, dependent on the Y knob, it translates that into notes in the scale. Y knob changes the scale, which I've then got into the first oscillator. So we can have a listen to that. So, and all those different combinations give me different notes. It doesn't do 3, it just does 2. So there's 10 notes available to you. That's pretty straightforward. I think if I change the Y thing, I'll change the scale. And it tells you which scale you're on down there, right the way up to chromatic at the top there. Like that. So you can play around with those as you see fit. There is also, so that's coming out of CV1 out. CV2 out is giving me a harmony based in the scale. So just here, I'm patching that into the second oscillator, which is tuned the same as the first one. They're tuned in unison and pretty well calibrated. So if I listen to that one, right, I'm listening to them both. We know if I push the switch into the up position, I get a little portamento, a little gliss into each note, which I think is quite nice. Okay, so that's that. So you can either use it for 1 or use it for 2. This is using the CV outs. There's also pulse 1 out is also creating me a gate every time I do that. But more interestingly, you could be using that gate to trigger the slopes and using those to do something with an envelope. I get envelopes directly out of the audio outs. So I'm going to patch those into the filter. So I'm going to, I'll just do it on the first one to start off with. So I've got the filter, I'm going to close the filter down, and then the envelope that's being generated is opening that filter up. And when I turn the knob, it changes how that opens and how long it is. The second one, running out of cables, the second audio out does the same thing, but could be used for like the ring modulator as a VCA. But if I use it on the other filter here, so I'm going to do the same sort of thing. All right, we can hear. Now, the interesting thing, I suppose, change into a different mode just for a laugh. So is if I change X knob, now the relationship between these 2 envelopes changes. So this is a kind of macro that's changing both of those, and this is changing how the 2 relate to one another. So it can be very short or very long, but that's one long, one short. And that is the kind of musical melodic mode for NIBBLE. Hope that makes sense.